Lincoln Riley and the USC Trojans, they finally fired Alex Grinch. And quite honestly, this should have been done a long time ago. Alex Grinch maybe shouldn't have even made it to USC when Lincoln Riley decided to leave Oklahoma in the middle of the night. But he brought Alex Grinch out there, and there was this rejuvenated energy around the program and around Lincoln Riley saying, hey, Alex Grinch, like he's back in the Pac-12 where he originally succeeded at Washington State. Maybe we will have a good defense at USC. And listen, people told you, Oklahoma fans said it. Alex Grinch, the sad truth is, it's not going to be pretty. You saw it last year. A lot of people thought Alex Grinch should have been fired after last season. He made it into this season. He's not going to make it out. Ross Dellinger over at Yahoo Sports originally put this out there, or at least I think he was the first one to put it out there. The USC has dismissed defensive coordinator Alex Grinch. And so USC fans, I need to hear from y'all. I need to hear what y'all's thoughts are. So if you haven't already, make sure you're joining the discussion and jumping down in the comments below. But statistically, this defense for USC was absolutely awful. You ranked 119th in total defense, allowing 436 yards per game. 121 in scoring defense, allowing 35.5 yards a game. 118th in rushing defense at 186.5 yards per game. Number 105 in passing defense with 249.5 points per, or 249.5 yards per game. Third down defense, 40%. Number 79. Number 95th in fourth down defense at a 56% completion percentage. Number 42 in turnovers, number 14. Number 48th in sacks at 24. Number 14th in tackles for loss at 73. But yet your rushing defense wasn't very good. So the time was now. USC needed to make this move, especially after you allow 52 points, which I believe was the season high for USC's defense on the year, allowing 52 points. The week before that, you allowed 49 points to Cal. You allowed 34 points to Utah, who, I mean, you let a third-string walk-on quarterback beat you. And then you allowed Notre Dame, who I guess they don't have a very good defense or a good offense either, or a good defense, to 48 points on you. Notre Dame's got a good defense, not a good offense. Sorry, guys. I've got a sinus thing going on today. Not mentally here. Colorado, though, you let them storm back in that game. You only won that game by 7. Honestly, you were in jeopardy of losing that one. This one was not pretty for Alex Grinch and the USC. And now you're going into next season with a new defensive coordinator, maybe a new head coach if Lincoln Riley's not there. I think there's been a lot of speculation on whether Lincoln Riley's out, but maybe this is the move that changes Lincoln Riley's career in college football. Here's what I mean by that. You go out there and you hire yourself a defensive coordinator and you give them full control. You do not meddle in the middle of it. You go in there and you hire a defensive coordinator that just has full reins, recruiting and everything to do what he wants to do. No speed D crap. I mean, this USC team could be freaking scary. Here's what I mean by this. This offseason, you'd gotten guys like Bear Alexander from Georgia, one of the most coveted defensive linemen in the transfer portal. Anthony Lucas, another coveted defensive lineman in the transfer portal. You couldn't do anything with them this year. Not to mention, you've got, I believe it's Corey Foreman out there, the former number 1 or number 2 overall player in the recruiting class. He hasn't really seen a whole lot. You need to see more development out of these guys. And you need to see a defensive coordinator that's out there to develop your defense and develop these players. So there were a lot of high expectations for USC. Alex Grinch was on the hot seat coming into the season. And the sad truth is, I don't think we expected Alex Grinch to make it out of this season. Lincoln Riley finally has the balls to let him go. And that's really what it comes down to. He found his balls. He let him go. So, according to Bruce Feldman on Twitter, Alex Grinch is out as USC's defensive coordinator. Defensive line coach Sean Nua and inside linebackers coach / associate head coach for defense, Brian Odom, will serve as interim co-defensive coordinators. Question is, going through the rest of the season, what kind of momentum does this give you on the recruiting trail? Because I don't feel like defensive recruits wanted to come play at USC for Alex Grinch after what they've seen the past 2 seasons. And let me explain to you what I mean. 2023, you lose Braxton Myers, a top 175 player in the country. He decommits, cornerback. Grant Bucky, a 3-star defensive lineman, decommitted from your program. So you lost 2 defensive commits in 2023. In 2024, you guys have lost Dakota Fields, the 4-star top 100 safety out of Gardena, California. I thought USC was supposed to lock down their state. Doesn't look like it's happening. You lost Dylan Williams, the 4-star linebacker. And then depending on if Aaron Butler was going to play on the defensive side of the ball, well, you lost him. So let's just say 3 defensive commits in 2024. Then in 2025, you lost a 5-star in Antoine Feggins at the safety position. And then you lost Jet White at the athlete. Now, recruiting momentum, for those of you who follow Hayes Fawcett on Twitter, literally, right as Grinch gets fired, you see USC pick up a commitment from Madden Ryodan. I think that's how you say it. Ryodan. Pick up a commitment from there. So again, the question is, what kind of momentum is this going to create for USC on the defensive side of the ball on the recruiting trail? Because this is big. This has been questions, national media across college football. They've been asking this question. When are you going to adapt? When are you going to move on? Now, the question is, where does Lincoln Riley go for a defensive coordinator next? And I think there's a couple options out there, but I think you need to make a home run hire in terms of somebody that's able to develop players, recruit at a high level, and put out a solid defense. I would say I'd be giving Elijah Robinson a call. Defensive line coach out of Texas A&M. I'd be saying, hey, how would you like to come be our defensive coordinator out here? You've done a really good job at recruiting at Texas A&M. Put together one of the best defensive line classes. I want you to come out to USC. Give it a try. Maybe you could look at Gary Patterson. I mean, we know what he's did at TCU. One of the best defensive minds. Maybe you go after a guy like that. Regardless, this is going to be an interesting story that we have to follow all throughout the season. But USC fans, I want to hear from you. What are some of your initial thoughts of Lincoln Riley finally letting go of Alex Grinch, sending him to the unemployment table?